What's going on, guys? This is Eagzey. This is 9:30 AM in the morning, mate, and I woke up probably like an hour ago, and I've got up and I was like, you know what, mate, I'm going to stream this morning, but then I realised how AIDS it is trying to find a game in high elo in the morning over here, so I was like, you know what, let's get this fucking video done. So that's what we're doing right here. Now then, this is not a troll video. I am not fucking trolling when I tell you that this is my favourite rune page for Shaco, N810. Spellbook on Shaco. Mate, seriously, like, this isn't me fucking pulling your leg or whatever. Like, this is just what the game is at the moment. This is, I think, the most effective rune setup for Shaq. Now, this is exactly, by the way, what Shaco runs. I'm pretty sure. He might actually have Triumph in it instead of Alacrity or Coup de Grace. I can't remember. But for the most part, this is exactly what Shaco runs. Shacklone runs, sorry. Who is pretty much Shaco anyway. So, shout out to Shacklone for doing this. I didn't kind of realize this 20% attack speed shit until I actually kind of tested out Shacklone's runes, and I was just like, wait, what the fuck? Like, early clearing is so much easier. And because you're early game jungling, not just Shaco, is all about contesting scuttle crabs, right? So if you don't have attack speed in there, especially 1v1ing champions early game, like if you're fighting someone, you know, level 2 over a scuttle crab, and you don't have attack speed in there, you're fucked. To be honest, because there are champions like Elise who have attack speed from their W. Lee Sin has attack speed from his passive. Wukong, who has attack speed after he fucking E's, I'm pretty sure. Like, these junglers who you meet early game have attack speed in there, and you're going to lose every 1v1 unless you have, you know, good attack speed. So that's one of the reasons we run it, and yeah, as I said, just to help with the early clear, just to get through the jungle nice and quickly as we did in previous patches. So this is it, guys. This is my favourite rune setup. Unsealed Spellbook. Now, Glacial, I haven't tried this Glacial Augment shit, but look, fucking Spellbook, I think. Once you play like 10-20 games, so make sure you guys do this if you haven't already run this page, make sure you guys play like a good amount of games with this setup so you can get used to it. Okay, instead of if you're thinking, oh, what the fuck is Eagzey on about, you know, and just dismissing it, give it a go. Give it a go for at least, you know, 10, 15, 20 games, and then, and tell me what you think, alright? Now, Spellbook, alright? This is kind of nice on Shaco. Sorry, I've just actually smashed the mic with my left hand. This is really nice on Shaco, because, once you've used Ignite, for example, like I'll always start the game with Ignite. Once you've used Ignite, switch to TP. Once you use TP, you switch to Ghost. Once you've used Ghost, you switch to Exhaust. Like, you can always mix it up, and there are actually some points as well, like say Baron is down late game, and Elder Dragon is down as well. They're not, you know, respawning for 5 minutes. You can actually switch out Smite as well. So you can be running like Ignite and Ghost, Ignite, Exhaust, something like that, which is really kind of useful on Shaco. I actually haven't got to a late game yet where I can do that, but I've seen, like, fucking the potential, mate, you know what I mean? I'm envisioning it, yeah? So I think that would be awesome. But Spellbook, yeah, it's useful as fuck. Switching to TP as well, like, early mid game is really useful in case a fight breaks out. So you're like, even like you go gang top lane, their jungler's bot and they need a TP. As soon as you do that, you TP bot. I've actually had a play where I did Rift Herald. As soon as I got Rift Herald, TP bot, and we got bot turret because they got a double kill. So I think there is a lot of kind of, how would you call it? A lot of use in running Spellbook and other summoners on Shaco when your Ignite is down. So definitely give this a go, guys, and yeah, try it for a good amount of games before you, yeah, throw it in the fucking muck. Right, magical footwear is this. Now, the downside of this, obviously, is that you don't have Mobies pre-turn. So at 10 minutes, you get these boots. But before that, like, say, in previous patches, we'd have mobility boots definitely by 10 minutes, so we'd have a lot more kill pressure on the map and pressure in general. So without that, yeah, okay, we lose a little bit of pressure, but what this means is that we can spend our gold on other things, right? So we can spend it in, you know, building a Dirk, or even if you want to go warrior and stuff, I guess that's okay. But yeah, we're spending it in damage, and because, like, this kind of meta is more oriented around objectives, I mean, it has been for a while now, but, like, especially jungling now, like, it's all about fucking scuttle crabs, right? So when you're contesting a scuttle crab, mobility boots don't really help you there. Like, you're not going to one-shot the other jungler at fucking, you know, when you're level 5, 6, 7 in the game, right? So having that extra damage is really, really nice, and, like, at that point in the game, if you're doing well, you're never going to lose that fight. You're always going to win those 1v1s in the jungle. So that's what I really like. So I don't really feel the setback of that in terms of, you know, not having boots pre-10. It's just something you're going to have to get used to with this setup. Like, if you're running this, just try and get fucking used to it. Playing without Mobies or Swifties, whatever you guys go. And yeah, I think it's it's very beneficial, to be honest. And it saves you 300 gold in the long run. Right, futures market is next. This is, out of all these, this is the obvious choice, but yeah, it's really nice, like, mid to late game, especially when you have, like, 6 items and you'll have a machete in there. Now, if you guys don't know, machete sells for about 260, I think. It's like around 250 to 270. I think it's 270 something. But yeah, so when you're on, like, 900 gold mid-late game and you're looking for a camp to farm and there isn't one, just go back, sell machete, you're on, like, what, fucking 1150, 1200 gold, and you want a BF sword for that IE for your last item, no worries, mate, you can buy it because of futures market. So, a lot of situations like mid to late game, you'll be looking for that BF sword or trying to, you know, get enough gold for it. Doesn't matter, because you'll probably have it with futures market, so that's what I really like. Even like early to mid game, it's useful as well. So we need like a dirk or getting a dust blade early in the game. There are instances where I'll have a dust blade at like 13-14 minutes in some games. And as soon as we get that, we've got our boots as well, because we get that from footwear. And you're just in a really nice spot if you're kind of, you know, snowballing and have a good early game. So futures market. And this one is just the obvious choice, Cosmic Insight. Approach Velocity doesn't do anything, this doesn't do anything, so Cosmic Insight. And here, Precision, Alacrity and Coup de Grace, even though we're getting 20% attack speed, even if we switch this out, for example, we're still getting 20% attack speed here. But I just prefer Alacrity. I just think that having even more attack speed is good on Shaco. I don't think any other rune here... Like, is there anything better here than Alacrity? Probably not, to be honest, out of these 6. Not sorry, out of these 6, out of these 6. It's already got Coup de Grace. So out of these 6 Triumph, I mean, it's okay, I guess, but I much prefer Alacrity, to be honest. Let me sort that out so you guys don't get confused. So yeah, there you go. So that's the rune page that I really enjoy at the moment, guys, on Shaco. Please give it a go. No, I'm not fucking trolling either. This is... I just think this is the best setup. Obviously, it's personal preference. If you guys are going Electrocute, Dark Harvest still, go for it, but I think this is the most viable. Like, I think this is number 1, and then Electrocute number 2, Dark Harvest number 3. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. And yeah, if you guys have any rune pages that no one fucking knows about, then yeah, fang that in there as well. Alright, so let's get on to the old pathing, mate. Right, guys, this is the pathing, mate. So I'm going to go through a couple of clears that I like for this side of the map, so blue side, and I'll show you a couple of clears I like doing for top side of the map. Now, this is one thing you guys have to understand, mate, is that when I'm playing or anyone else is playing in high elo, the jungle is very unpredictable now, which I kind of like, to be honest, because you either go for top scuttle crab, you either go for bottom scuttle crab. There are so many clears that you can do as a jungler, like you can go buff, contest top scuttle, you can do a normal 3 camp clear or 4 camp clear, contest the scuttle crab. It's very unpredictable, and you have no idea what the other jungler is going to do, unless, of course, you have a ward somewhere or whatever. So, these clears, like, will 100% work and be really, really good in low elo. But in higher elo, like, you might have to mix it up a bit, and it's all about adapting and showing a bit of fucking expediency in a given situation, right? So, I'll be pointing out a few of those as well. Now, I'm gonna pretend, so you obviously get a leash on your red buff, so you're going 2-2 here. Now, these golems spawn about 140 or something, I can't actually remember when, but when you finish red buff, which I will actually smite just to kind of show that I'll have a leash. When you finish this red buff, the golems will actually spawn as soon as you go over. Or close to it, so as soon as we do this here, we queue over. So they spawn at 141, okay. Always do the big one first. Now what we want to do here, the best thing about this strategy is that we hit level 3 after doing a Scuttle Crab. On any other clear on this side of the map, say we were going to go Raptors, Red, and then Scuttle Crab, we don't actually hit level 3 after the Scuttle, as I'm really struggling with the backstab this here. Okay, yes, I've done that. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, mate. I'm drunk. It is 10 AM. So yeah, so we do that, and then we're going to pass through bot lane. You can go all the way around here, but it just takes so much longer, and the likelihood is they haven't even warded bot yet. And then we're going to backstab the old Scuttle, give him a quick hit over the head, mate, and get this. Now, sometimes their jungler might go blue to this Scuttle, but it's unlikely, because they have blue buff, and they're going to lose the 1v1. Now, mid lane, depends, like if it's gankable. You can just walk through mid, to be honest. Shagord's pointed that out in his video. Like, it doesn't really matter if you show either. Like, if their jungler sees you level 3, shit, you know what I mean? Even if you have a spare ward, chuck a fucking ward. Not necessarily in this bush, but chuck it on red. Oh, okay, his red's up. He hasn't done that, so he's probably like, I don't know, doing a fucking full clear or some shit. Where the hell did its Scuttle Crab go? Here it is. And then we can go here and do this Scuttle Crab. So honestly, like, this clear, I've had so many situations, mate, like, where I'll do that exact clear. and I will want to play bot side for the first, like, legit 3, 4, 5 minutes of the game. So I won't even worry about doing blue buff. So say I was over here, and we just got Scuttle Crab, and their bot lane is kind of shoving. I will actually look just to gank this lane straight away. So I don't even worry about my blue buff. Now, it's all situational as well. Like, say they started top side, they do their red, and they went to that Scuttle Crab instead, so imagine that still being up, and their blue buff's up. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, their blue's up. Well, maybe we have a trinket, or we fucking box over the wall there just to, you know, give us some vision if they come down. And if they don't, we gank bot, then we go straight to their blue and take it. Now, say their bot lane was gankable here, simple Q over the wall, and we're in. So, it's all situational. You guys have to make fucking decisions quickly, right? It's not about, alright, I'm gonna do this, and that's it. And you carry it out, and it works out perfectly. Most often, it doesn't work like that in high elo, especially. You have to fucking adapt to the situation and what's going on at that point in time. But that's legit the only clear I can kind of show you, or the extent of the clear, sorry, of this particular clear that I can show you, like going to red golems and then Scuttle Crab. That's pretty much it. After that, like, yeah, you can fucking go up there like every game and contest that Scuttle. What about if they've already done the Scuttle Crab? Maybe ask your mid laner to ward. You have to kind of, you know, kind of assess the situation, mate, and make calls on the fly. So it's very important. I can't really fucking tell you guys, alright, yeah, you're going to do exactly this, you're going to do exactly that, and you'll be 2-0 at fucking 5 minutes, you'll have 3 Scuttle Crabs, and you'll be so far ahead. It doesn't work like that. So adapt to the situation and pay attention, mate, to the little details that matter. Alright, next, so these 2 clears that I'm going to show you right now are pretty much exactly the same. Like, the only difference is that in one of them I'm reacting to the other jungler. Say he started at his blue, I'm reacting to that. I'm saying, you know what, if you're going to start your fucking blue buff, I'm going to invade your red and put pressure on the map early game. And even if we don't take it, then at least we put some pressure down, we cause a bit of havoc, and say we win that, you know, 1v1, or we get their red buff and we can do the topside Scuttle Crab, you have a really nice start to the game. Now, they might do exactly the same thing here, right? So say their jungler went from their blue buff, did like Wolves or Gromp or one of them, went to Scuttle Crab and invaded our bot side of the map and took our red, then we have to kind of react to it. So it's all about fucking reacting, mate, to the situation, yeah? There is no, like, none of these kind of jungle routes or whatever is set in stone and say, you do this, you're going to be farmed, as I was saying earlier. Now, this clear as well, you put 3 boxes at wall, so we're going 3-1. These boxes are very similar to the Season 7 XP Quint strategy, so those 3 boxes are going to kill the 2 smaller walls, which will give us enough XP after we do Blue and Gromp and Scuttle Crab to hit level 3. So yeah, it's pretty A, it's how you need to do like an extra camp nowadays, but on Shaco you have like a bit of an advantage, to be honest, and if you do this well with a leash, of course. I can't remember if I smite this. If I do smite them in these videos or these examples, guys, then it is just me trying to kind of, you know, resemble what a leash would be like in terms of damage after I smite it. So here, right now, I'm kind of reenacting if their jungler started at blue. So if their jungler did start at blue and I see that their bot lane's expended a bit of mana, or, you know, one of them's taken a bit of a hit for the old blue buff for the jungler, then I will go and invade this straight away. Obviously, we're going to have smite here. We're not going to smite blue buff. I was just showing you guys what a leash would look like. So we do red buff. Now, you can trinket over the wall. I don't know how many times I've shown this fucking clear in videos. I ain't done it. But yeah, when you do that blue buff, you probably want to, red buff, sorry, you probably want to ward over the wall just to make sure that they're not coming, just to be a bit safer. We queue over, we do Scuttle Crab, and there you go. So that's the one clear. Now, this clear, I would probably, yeah, if they start topside, like, you're not going to be able to invade their red buff. So I'll show you what to do if they started topside. You just do, like, the 3 camp clear that I was telling you about, and Scuttle Crab, and, you know, you should be sweet. So after this, you can gank top, you can gank mid, or you just go and keep farming. As I said, like, their jungler might go and invade your bot side, take all your stuff, so if they do that, or if you have a feeling that they're doing that, say you warded, like, their Raptors bush, or over that red, the red buff wall, and you don't see them, then they're probably doing that. You need to react to that, invade their top side, take their Raptors, take their golems, and whatever. Alright, so this is pretty much exactly the same clear, guys. We're going to put 3 boxes at wolves. Now, what you can do, you can actually start blue and then go Gromp and then Scuttle Crab, but to be honest, I don't really like that. You can also do that for, so your red side of the map. If you go, you can go 2-1-1, so you go blue, Gromp, and then Scuttle Crab, and you actually have a box at Scuttle Crab. But it's actually better to do this, to be honest, because we hit level 3 of Scuttle Crab, and you only lose like 5 to 10 seconds doing this. Okay, yeah, we're using 3 boxes to get 2 small wolves, but trust me, when you get a leash on blue buff, it's just a lot easier. as a general rule of thumb, like the quicker clear will be the side you start where your bot lane is, because obviously you have 2 players to leash it. So if I'm this side of the map on the, blue team, if I start at my red buff, I'm probably going to get a quicker leash, or a better leash, sorry, and I'm going to get that bot side scuttle crab quicker than I am when I start top side and get a leash from only 1 player, right? So that's kind of a determinant in where you start. But once again, this is just the clear, so as I will show you very soon where I put the trinket, like those boxes will get the 2 small walls, and that gives us the XP that is just needed, just enough XP to hit level 3 after we do scuttle. So this is the clear I would do anyway, if they started top side of the map. Or if I have a suspicion that they started topside, maybe their bot lane fake leashed or whatever. It's all about fucking paying attention, mate, to those small details and reacting to them and making decisions on the fly. That is what will get you into a fucking, or make you a good... By the way, yes, I understand that box is fucking the next play of my career, but just try to ignore it here. But... yeah, guys, this is pretty much the video. Hopefully you understand like the main kind of principles of this early game. I will probably make another video and go into even more depth once I've got like 50, 100 games this patch. I don't know, but yeah, I'll definitely look into it in more detail in the near future. But if you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know how you go with the pathing, with the runes and all that. And yeah, guys, fucking good luck in 8-10. It's gonna be 8. All right, boys, take it easy. Peace.